Let's install and configure Duik. Of course, the first step is to download Duik. But before, don't forget to donate to help us develop free and open source software. So let's click on the download button for Duik. There are several ways to install it. Basically, you have to extract some files from the zip archive you have downloaded to copy them in a predefined folder in After Effects. There are two ways to do that. If you're an administrator user on the computer, you can install the script for everyone at once in the install folder After Effects, the usual one for the version you like, in the scripts folder, script UI panels. You can unzip and copy the Duik files here. So you're going to copy the files from the script UI panels. There are several files. I'll explain a bit later why there are so many files, but to begin, you just need to use the Duik Angela file. So let's just copy this specific file. I'm ignoring here because I have already installed it, but this is the first way to install Duik for everyone on the computer, if you're an administrator user. If you're not, you can install it another way, which is even simpler, but it will be available only for your user. In the File menu Scripts, you can use Install Script UI panels in After Effects. And now you just need to pick the file. So of course, you first need to unzip it. And now you can select it to install it for your user in After Effects. I'm not doing it here because I don't want to replace mine. Once you've done this, you have to close After Effects to quit After Effects to open it again. And after having started it again, you can find Duik Angela in the window menu. Let's open it. The first time you open it, you may have this dialog, which asks you to check the box, allow scripts to write files. Let's click Open Preferences to get to the right preference panel in After Effects and check this box, allow scripts to write files and access network. Duik needs this because it needs to write the files of the icons displayed in the user interface, and it needs to access the network just to check if there are some updates available. Now Duik is opened. You have to choose the language to be used in the user interface. There are multiple languages. This list is going to evolve as we're translating Duik. Select the one you need, and Duik is ready to be used. Let's have a look at the user interface of Duik. So when you open it, you get to a home panel listing all the subpanels available, which are the same as all the tabs on top, and a donate button. And of course, important, the help link where you get to the comprehensive documentation, the user guide of Duik. This is where you should go as soon as you have any question about Duik or any issue with it. So the tabs are, the first one is the Open Cutout panel with meta rigs, which are complete armature for your characters. The second tab is the Bones panel to create and manage the bones, armatures for specific limbs. The third tab is the Links and Constraints panel, which has a lot of tools to control properties and constrain their values. For example, the auto rig, the connector, the key morph, and parent or transform constraints, and a lot of tools. The controller panel contains what you need to create and edit controllers, animation controllers, which are in the composition when you animate. The automation and expressions panel has a lot of tools to handle expressions and automate animation, like loop something, swing, blink, add a random motion, and the famous cleaner. The animation panel contains all you need when you're animating, not just only character rigged with Duik, but anything in After Effects you're going to animate, you may use the animation panel. The camera panel with a few tools, and general tools subdivided in 4 tabs: composition, layer tools, text tools to rename and search and replace, and a few tools for developers for scripting and maybe expressions. There's also this command line interface panel to access really quickly all features of Duik, and a notepad, which I'll explain a bit later, always available here on the top right corner. On the bottom right corner, this icon shows the sanity status of After Effects and the project. It runs a few checks regularly to make sure your project and your After Effects are sane. Again, a donate button, and the very small button on the bottom left corner has a few links to, for example, report bugs or request features, edit the settings of Duik, which opens the settings panel, a link to access the webpage where we manage Duik translations for the UI. Here you can contribute to the translation of existing language, but we can also add other language if you ask for it. We can translate Duik in as many languages as you wish. And the Help button opens the online comprehensive guide. So this is the user interface of Duik and how tools are sorted. As there are a lot of different subpanels like this, you may notice that sometimes there's a specific panel you'd like to have at hand at every time because you use it a lot, and keep it as a dockable panel in After Effects, as independent from the Duik and Hera main panel. This is why you have many files in the zip archive you've downloaded of Duik. If you have a look in the Script UI panels folder, all these different scripts are actually standalone panels of Duik tools to customize your workspace in After Effects. For example, here I have already installed them all, so I can, if I need, keep the controllers panel at hand. Here it is, and I can dock it anywhere. So the Duik and Hera panel contains everything, and other are just subpanels of Duik. This may be very handy. Another one I like a lot is the Notes panel. I very often keep this panel docked somewhere in my interface because these notes are very useful.